Hey, what's up guys? Let's talk jailbreaking in 2019. This is a topic I've been wanting to sit down and speak to you about for the longest time, and finally with the imminent release of the iOS 12 jailbreak, let's go ahead and do that. I want to introduce you to the world of jailbreaking and kind of why you should still be doing it in 2019, my take on it. Now, a lot of people, I'm looking around and I'm showing you these, modified phones, and a lot of people literally do not know about jailbreaking, what it is. It seems to have faded into obscurity, and I want to tell you that that is not the case. Jailbreaking is as relevant as ever today, and it's actually kind of amazing how this process has changed over time, evolved from the good old days of Xiphone and Red Snow and Lime Rain and all of those Green Poison, all those old jailbreak tools, to what it is today, this very evolved system with a lot of developers, this huge community behind it that I want to introduce you to. So let's get into it, why you should jailbreak in 2019. So I want to start this off with something that you might be able to relate to, Mr. Robot. If you guys have seen that, it is a very amazing TV show, and I love all the allusions to the hacking and almost a jailbroken world. So they're using obviously some other kind of phones in most of the scenes, but this makes you feel like you're in Mr. Robot, like you have the control of your phone, that you can tweak and control every little component and look of your phone if you don't like it. Even that verbose boot in the new version of Uncover is so sweet. I love it. It kind of reveals that under the cover look at the jailbreaking scene. So that's awesome. It makes you feel like you're on a completely different level than most iPhone users. You're still using the same hardware, but you're tuning the software to your taste. And there are so many ways you can go. You can theme it for looks. You can use jailbreaking for functionality, to improve in so many ways the responsiveness of your phone, to save you time even with the lock-unlock procedure. There's just a million things you can do. And I feel like that's very overwhelming to most people, is because there are so many options, you kind of don't know where to go. Well, a good place to start is r/jailbreak on Reddit. That's like probably the #1 place to go to get information on the latest tweaks and stuff. So moving on to the next point is that jailbreaking can fix all of Apple's obtusities. All of these stupid things in iOS that just don't make sense. This operating system has been in existence for over 10 years and we still have that volume HUD when you change your volume. It obscures your video. Like, which software engineer deserves a slap on the neck at Apple? Why don't they release a very tiny update just to get this out of the way? But Apple keeps prolonging those stupid little things, like, for example, being able to actually turn off the functions in your control center instead of it being a temporary turn off. Activating Siri or receiving phone calls shouldn't take over your entire display. With jailbreaking, you can fix that. Logical camera controls actually within the camera app, being able to move apps wherever you want, just those little tiny things that make life so much easier in the long run. Of course, picture-in-picture has to be a really big one. Like, that's one of those little features that Android has that saves you a lot of time. Multitasking, Apple should be prioritizing multitasking with the larger displays, but they literally have done nothing with it yet, not to mention split screen. And my next point is taking advantage of the organic LED display. Apple gave us this beautiful hardware, this amazing display, and then did absolutely nothing in the software to support it. There is no dark mode, there is no always on display, there is no custom notification dots or maybe some sort of pattern or animation to take advantage of that display, and I think it's a really dumb choice on Apple's end. They could be doing so much with that. That's the entire other side of marketing for Apple, is the software, and they're just not using it to its full potential. I don't understand why, and they've always been like that, so slow to adopt the features. There are a lot of jailbreak tweaks that take advantage of that display, and some users report that they can even get really long periods of battery life because of those tweaks. It's awesome to see that from third-party jailbreak tweaks, faster or sooner, more innovative than from Apple. And my guess is Apple just doesn't like being shown what they're not doing. All these people apparently have figured it out, and Apple's the one that just can't get their mind around the idea of including a dark mode in iOS up until iOS 13, And I think a really big one is anyone with an older iPhone. If you jailbreak your phone, you can absolutely get the most. You can get 110% out of your phone with a tweak like home gestures, where you can get the entire iPhone X interface, the swipe control, onto older phones. Let me tell you, it absolutely transforms older phones. The speed, the responsiveness, jumping in through apps, you don't need to use the home button anymore. In fact, if that's broken, this could completely alleviate that for you. Tweaks like animations be fast can make your old phone feel brand new again, and that's a very nice feeling. So I'm assuming Apple doesn't want you to do that, doesn't want you to be able to bring newer features from newer phones onto older ones. And with jailbreaking, you can do that. Extend the life of older phones further than ever. And I'd like to add this point is that it's never been easier than at this point in time. Back in the day, you'd have to suffer with custom firmwares, programs that just would be unreliable, either only Windows support or Mac support. Nowadays, that's completely different. Jailbreaking is very simple. Sometimes you don't even need a computer to do it. Most of the times recently, you would be able to download it just straight from the website. The process is certainly different. If you do need a computer, you gotta sign it with your Apple ID, but don't let that deter you. It's still a jailbreak, it's still fully functioning. It's just the rules of engagement for the jailbreak have changed. So if you take your time to learn that, and I will be releasing a jailbreak tutorial video just as soon as the full iOS 12 jailbreak is available, and no problem, you guys can figure it out easily. So don't be overwhelmed by it. It's a very simple solution. It's much different than it was before, but I'd say in a good way. And a very big one is it's not unsafe in any manner. Jailbreaking has this stigma attached to it where it can add viruses to your phones or make it unstable, and that's just not true. Sometimes you can install a tweak and it makes your phone kind of work crappy, maybe go into safe mode, but you can always remove that. You can go back. Worst case, restore onto a clean slate, lose a jailbreak, whatever, but you can always go back. That's the point. And the warranty part. So this is still kind of murky for most people. Yes, jailbreaking could technically void the warranty if the repair shop, looked through your software and saw that you were jailbroken, but most Apple stores, most repair facilities do not care about that. I mean, jailbreaking is so obscure nowadays that they're not even looking for that most of the time. You can always restore and reset your phone if you want to go back to stock states for repair. Just keep that in mind. Don't let the warranty part deter you in any ways. You can always go to a clean slate. Personally, for me, there are just a handful of tweaks that I take advantage of when jailbroken that I'm so excited to use on my iPhone XS Max. Of course, all the dark mode stuff, taking advantage of the organic LED display, but beyond that, I want to share with you my handful that I just cannot live without. Number one being color flow. So this is my absolute favorite jailbreak tweak, or at least one of them, and basically it allows you to predict the future and respond to it and change the past. So let me explain. Type status allows you to see when someone reads your message after you send it instantly on the spot. So you'll know when they did it and you'll know when they start typing to respond to you. That is nuts. Basically, letting you predict the future before it happens. You're gonna know incoming messages are happening before they arrive. And you can change the past with send delay. So this tweak allows you to stop a message from being sent within an allotted time, 3 seconds or whatever you set. And this is a lifesaver. Imagine you accidentally spell something wrong or autocorrect changes something, or you're sending it to a wrong person. You can stop that message in its tracks. Otherwise, you're straight out of luck on iOS. Basically, that message is going through, whether it's a nude to the wrong person, I don't know, I'm not gonna judge. Send delay is one of the pillars of jailbreaking for me, and I will always love that one. Color flow is one of the biggest for me as well. I love customizing lock screen. For me, music is so important, and being able to customize that on the iPhone, get the absolute best interface out of it. It adjusts all the controls and toggles from the lock screen to the music app on your iPhone in response to the album art of the music. It is so cool looking to see in action, and I love this tweak. And a really cool one is the community, I think, of jailbreaking. There are all these people that say, hey Apple, we don't like what you're doing with iOS, we think we can make it better, and you just tweak and customize your phone in that manner. And eventually when you build it up to where you like it, where everything works smoothly, it is such a great feeling. And over time, you guys will learn more if you want to get into it. Jailbreaking is an awesome place to be, and there is an amazing community behind it. Also, something I wanted to address about jailbreaking, this is like an old one, is that it's tied to the stigma of being childish. For me personally, like a lot of people back in the day, maybe 8 to 10 years used to jailbreak their phones just because of how cool it was. Then people kind of stopped caring. They just say, oh, that's some childish games, normal people don't do that. Well, let me tell you, jailbreaking can completely change the productivity of your phone. So for example, if you lock your screen and then click the button right away, then it'll take you back to the spot where you were, saving you just a few seconds of time. And that adds up over time, just those little tweaks that you adjust iOS with. And of course, you can make your phone absolutely unique. In a world with hundreds of millions, billions of phones, and they're all the same, having just a few stand out is a beautiful thing. And I think Apple should be embracing that creativity. Instead, what they're doing is stifling it and using the whole security deal to put a bad spin on jailbreaking. But jailbreaking can be a beautiful thing, and the creators and developers that make all the tweaks possible, I think it's such a great community to be a part of. And you can request things, you can ask for certain tweaks, you can make your own tweaks if you want. Another big one is AirPods customization. More and more tweaks are coming out right now to customize and take advantage of AirPods fully, and not cannot wait for AirPods 2 with some little software tweaks Apple's gonna include in there. You can make the absolute best of your AirPods right now and customize every control. And of course, to flex on your friends, you have what nobody else has basically, if you do have a jailbreak and all the tweaks that come with it. So yeah, you can use that flex card once in a while, I think. But anyways, guys, there it is. Jailbreaking is alive and I think as relevant as ever in 2019. In fact, it has become so good to where this is the year you should be jailbreaking over any other in the past, especially with the iOS 12 jailbreak being so recent. On iOS 12.1.2 or below, you guys can jailbreak. If you want to find out more about how to jailbreak, how to get to a jailbreakable firmware, I will leave a link down below in the description so you guys can read more about that. There it is. Let me know your thoughts down below in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.